Welcome to the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. I'm your host, T. Daniels, wife, mama of two girls, multi-business owner, iced coffee connoisseur, and your official bad bitch mentor. Get ready to transform your boring business into a money-making machine by learning how to just be better at being you. No more playing by the rules. It's time to hone in on your gifts, turn up your energy, and make some serious cash. So grab your coffee, your headphones, or just cover your child's ears and let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Today, I have decided to drop a bonus episode for you because I have something so exciting that I'm starting next week. I have a program called the Group Coach School. And inside that program, I help coaches build group coaching programs, high ticket offers. I help them build offers that fill up their funnel and offers that allow them to go to six figures working 10 hours a week. Inside this program, not only do I help you build your offers, not only do I help you make the messaging around these offers magnetic AF, but I also help my students launch. I teach them how to live launch. I teach them different types of launches. I teach them content and lead generation and sales. And they asked me recently if I could take them along with me to do a launch with me, like a full 6-week launch and everything that I do to launch. And I got to thinking, how fun would this be to invite all of you to launch with me for 6 weeks? Because the thing is I've launched for a really long time. Like I've done lots and lots and lots of live launches, and launching is fun, don't get me wrong, but bringing a bunch of friends with me to launch is so fun. And through this 6-week launch, you guys will not only get the inside tea and details on everything that I'm doing and decisions I'm making and the way my mind works and the content, and you'll see how I launch and how I've had used this strategy to have $30,000 launches, 40, 50, all the way up to $117,000 launches without ads. But also you're going to be able to mimic this strategy at the exact same time. So if you're already ready to launch, this is the perfect place to jump in. But if you're not ready to launch and you need to start building momentum in your business, this is also the perfect place. So in this 6-week launch with me mini program, it's 6 weeks long, and the first 4 weeks are all about building momentum, lead generation, content, warming up your audience, getting new people into your audience so that you can have a really successful launch, because you cannot just put out an offer to nobody, and you can't put out an offer to the few people that watch your stories or the really cold audience that you have. So for the first 4 weeks together, 30 days, we're going to be doing momentum together. So I'm going to show you the content I post, the content strategy, what I say, the lead generation strategy that I do, and what I do every single day to warm up my audience, ramp up my audience, and get people ready for me to launch. Now, the thing about this is I had 2 kids at home, and I have had 2 kids at home with me now for over a year. And before that, I've had my oldest daughter at home with me since the very beginning of my business back in 2016. So I know how to run a launch strategy very efficiently because I literally have no choice. So the best part about the way that I teach you to launch is, number 1, we don't use ads. Number 2, you don't need a large audience. And number 3, it only takes less than 60 minutes a day to do lead gen, sales, conversations, and content. Yep, less than 60 minutes a day to do all of it. And I'm going to show you exactly how. The best part about this is you get to join me inside of Telegram, which is an app similar to Voxer. It's like a little group chat where every morning, every day, I will be dropping in what I'm doing, my strategies, my content, what I'm saying, how I'm warming up my audience, how I'm DMing people, what I'm doing for lead gen every day for 30 days for only $33. Yeah, $33. And then if you want, you can upgrade and add on Launch Series Part 2, which is an additional 2 weeks for an additional $87. So all in all, 6 weeks of coaching with me in a mini program for $120. And I'm going to give you my exact launch strategy from warming up my audience, lead gen, getting new people in my audience, my launch event, selling my program. I'm going to talk to you how I reverse engineer my launches and literally everything I do so that you can have a really fun and successful launch. Here's the thing about me. I am very careful of my energy because, like I said, I do have 2 kids at home with me. I am very busy. Obviously, I'm the breadwinner of our family. So I'm very careful about my energy and knowing what I need to do to grow my business, but also what I need to do to kind of lay off so that I don't hit burnout, because I have hit burnout before. And so I created a launch strategy that's actually fun, that actually works and allows me to still enjoy my life and have kids at home and not feel like run really thin. Because years ago, I was having a really, really hard time with launching. It was exhausting to launch. And after I launched, I needed like a full vacation. It almost never even seemed worth it because it wasn't hitting the numbers that I wanted it to. And I was like, I have to figure this out. Like I have to figure out a way to make it work for me and my energy and my personality while also showing up and doing a really good job at my job, and then also having time and energy to be a mom the rest of the day. So when the link is below and when you click, you're immediately going to get access to the Telegram. That's where I'm going to host this 4-week challenge. And then you'll also get your portal. And inside of your portal, you have a link to the Get Clients Now mini course. So that's also included. 5-hour mini course on how to get clients now. And in there, I even break down your niche, your offers, your messaging, your content, how to show up, your energy, your mindset. Like that's all also in there broken down for you already. So you can start watching that before we get started next Monday. And then you're going to get 30 days with me of Telegram chat. And that is where I'm going to be dropping links and voice notes and examples and strategies throughout the entire month on what you can do every single day to drive traffic, how you can drive leads, how you can like boost your email list. We're going to be talking about your freebies, your next step, how to grow your audience, whether that's a free Facebook group or it's through your email, what that's going to look like. We're going to talk about reverse engineering your launch. We're going to talk about what to post every single day. We're going to be talking about reels and content and strategies, your energy, your mindset, how to attract new people into your audience. We're going to be talking about the hooks that you can use to capture in new people. We're going to talk about storytelling content, authority content, value content, all my launch yeses and nos, how to launch and have $117,000 launch, how I did it with no ads, no large audience, no crazy funnels, no crazy tech, and no burnout. I cannot believe I'm giving you guys this because it's a lot of the stuff that I do inside Group Coach School. So I'm literally giving you like a really in-depth look at my own launches and strategies. And it's kid-proof, it's mom-proof, it's you have kids at home and you're making it work. Because here's the thing. I had my first daughter in 2016 and I had started my business a few months prior, my very first business. My literal goal of starting my business was to have my daughter at home with me. I was like, I do not want to send her to daycare. I want her at home with me, which is why I even started a business to begin with. And then I had her and grew my virtual assistant business and then my agency. And through that, I was also a single mom because I went through a divorce in 2018. And then I met my now husband in 2019, the end of 2019, and we had our daughter together in April of 2023. So now I'm 8 years full-time in business. I have now had a business with 2 kids at home and no childcare. There was at one point I had a summer nanny for a couple months, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but no childcare. And my husband works a full-time job. I'm the breadwinner, and I have grown my business successfully every single year, more than the year before. And I now have a multi-6-figure coaching business without ads and with a small audience with 2 kids at home. Through this journey, I always felt like this was my crutch. I cannot tell you how many times my husband and I have had fight after argument about how I wish he would retire, how I want to retire him, how I want him to be at home with the kids, how I want him to be a stay-at-home dad. And also arguments about how I also want to be a stay-at-home mom and how I don't want to hire childcare and I don't want to put my kids in childcare and I don't want to send my kids to public school. My oldest daughter is in a school program and we are very fortunate to have this program. It is literally amazing. She gets to do school from home, but also be with her teacher and her classmates, and she loves it. And then she also is in soccer and other sports and stuff. So don't worry, she has kid time. But I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom forever, but I was like, my husband's job does not allow me to just be a stay-at-home mom and live the life that I want to live. And even before I met my husband, I was with someone who would hold money over my head and someone who he had the money. So he had all the power and he would literally hold it over me of like not allowing me to have it. And I promised myself when I left that marriage, I would be the breadwinner. I would be the person that made the money. I would have my own money and things so that I was never in this position again of like, what if I can't leave and not having my own things. So when I grew my business, then to multi 6 figures, I finally had the power, the choices, the money, the freedom, the decisions, but I also wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was constantly hiring coaches that were telling me, like, you have to have childcare. You cannot run a business like this. And I was constantly fighting with my husband. Like, it was this whole fucking thing. And honestly, a lot of this had to do with like this 3-month break I took because I was like in the thick of burnout of like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also want to have my own money, but I also like don't want to hire childcare. Like, I want to be with my kids. It was this whole fucking thing. And coach after coach would tell me, like, you can't have a successful business with kids at home. Like, you literally can't. So finally I had like this come to Jesus moment with myself. And I was like, look, here's the thing. Right now, I am a stay-at-home mom, which is what I've wanted. Right now, I have my own money and success. And I get to go to my business and I get to have my own thing. I get to be creative and I get to coach people and I get to do what I love every day while having my own money, having time, and being at home with my kids. I literally have everything that I've ever wanted right now. And I'm complaining about it. But this is literally what I've always wanted. And then I sat back and I realized, here's another thing too, is that you're being told you can't do that. You're being told, because I was being told that. I was being told it wouldn't work and you can't grow a business on nap time and you're not a real business owner and you're a part-time business owner. And I even thought this myself. And then I would go into these cycles of like shame and guilt of like, I should be working more. I should be with my kids more. And like, I know so many of you have felt this. And there's so many of you who have told me like, I also want to homeschool my kids or keep my kids at home. And I don't want to put them in public school, but I also like want to have this own thing for myself. And I want to have my own business. Like, and I sat back and thought like, I've done this for years and it's worked for me. And now I've grown my coaching business to multi-six figures with one team member, a small audience, and no ads on 10 hours or less per week. What? Like, that is the dream. To be able to have the financial freedom and flexibility, to pay off debt, to raise your credit score, to be able to buy a new home, to be able to buy a new car, to be able to take care of your family, to be able to have your kids at home and have your own money and make your own decisions and choices. That is literally the dream that I have always had and that so many of you have, and I have it. And it works. And I have figured out how to make it work so that my students still get coaching with me every week. My group coach school, we're on at least 2 calls a week together. And then also they're getting Slack coaching from me 3 times a week. We are together a lot and still being a great mom, still having my kids at home. And it made me think of like, why am I just not helping other moms do this when literally almost all of you here are moms or you want to be moms, you want to be able to take extended maternity leaves, you want to be able to take 3 months off, you want to be able to be at home with your kids, you want to have freedom and flexibility and choices and also have your own thing and your own business and your own money. And I have been doing it for years. Why am I just not teaching you guys this? So then when I was putting together this Launch With Me series and I was thinking, so many of you want to learn from me and learn launches from me and you want to make it work for you, but you'll have all of these thoughts about launching because I did too. And you feel like you need to have lots of time and it has to be lots of energy and it has to be like all this stuff while also being like, that doesn't work for me. I'm a fucking mom. So then you think, oh, I have to have ads and fancy funnels and all this tech and all these things and all this team. And I'm like, no, you don't. Because the thing about me is like, I need it to be simple. Not only because I have kids at home, because like my brain needs it to be simple. I hate tech and I hate fancy funnels. And if it requires me to like do all these bells and whistles and hoops and hooplas, I can't do it. And I have no interest right now in running ads. And I have no interest in putting money into ads. Even if I financially could, I don't want to. I don't feel like it. And I don't have to because it's worked for me. And like, this is what these women need. Like, this will blow your mind. And I'm giving it to you for $33 fucking dollars. Like, insane. Because I know so many of you just need to get in that room. Like, you just need to get in that room and be like, this is possible for you too. And I've been sitting on this like gold mine of information and strategy and schedule and the way that I've done it and the way that you can create irresistible offers that not only allow you to help so many people at one time, but also allow you so much more time in your schedule because you do have kids. And even if your kids are at school or childcare, I still know what it's like to then at the end of the night still have your kids, right? And also you built a business for freedom, but if you're sitting at your desk all day long just staring at your computer and looking for odds and ends and tasks and to-dos and filling up your schedule with a bunch of nothing and it almost like isn't paying you so it doesn't even feel worth it, I also know that that doesn't work either. So I've had to capitalize on nap times and the few hours I have a day of like, how do I make money? How do I make it work? How do I make impact? How do I do a really good job at my job and what I do and coaching and being there for other women while also being a really hot, rich, successful stay-at-home mom? Because that's literally my dream. It's like, the thing about me is I talked to my coach about this too, because I was like, it's really hard for me because I feel like there's so many layers to me. Like, I feel like I am not the average mom or business owner. Like, I almost feel like I almost like don't fit into certain categories, because it's like I am the mom that like loves to buy organic and do the holistic thing, but I'm also the mom that like, sure, maybe we'll go, like maybe I'll go get my daughter at McDonald's for lunch here and there. And yeah, I cuss like a freaking sailor and I will go toe to toe with a grown man, but also I'm like really loving and caring and sensitive and empathetic at the exact same time. Like, there's so many dualities to me. And so for so long, I held myself back because I was like, I don't want people to think that I'm like this stuck up bimbo materialistic Pilates iced coffee drinking woman, but also kind of like, I do love materialistic things and I do love my brand new home and I do love driving a brand new car and getting iced coffees every day. And I bought myself a Pilates machine and I have an in-home gym, but at the exact same time, I grew up really poor and I know what it's like to be on WIC and I know what it's like to like not be able to afford certain bills and not know what bills aren't going to get paid this month and barely being able to afford fucking groceries, to now being like, I don't even think twice when I go to the grocery store. Like, I totally understand the duality of all of this stuff. And so it's like, how do you put that all into one? Like, how do you blend it all together to help your people understand that, like, yeah, I am the Pilates mom. And my kids have a really strict schedule. And like, I put my kids on a strict schedule. They're in bed by 7 p.m. every single night. And yeah, I let my oldest daughter watch TV for 30 minutes before bed. And sometimes I give her extra screen time. And I also let her cuss in the shower. And if she wants to get out her emotions and she wants to say cuss words in the shower, that's totally fine. But also, they can't be said in public. And there's a time and a place to say them. And I'm also like the organic almond mom, but also like the maybe we'll have McDonald's for lunch today mom. And I'm also the mom who grew up super poor and I have trauma for days and OCD and CPTSD, and I've been in therapy for years and my dad committed suicide and I've been broke and been bullied for being broke, but also like I'm super bougie at the exact same time. It's like, I am all of these things. So there's so many layers to trying to help my audience understand of like how much I truly get it, how much I know what it's like to like be all of these dualities and feel like you don't fit in, and trying to find your thing and trying to find your niche and trying to find your way in this business while also feeling like kind of alone and kind of like, well, if I don't have thousands of dollars to spend with a coach every month, then I'm never going to get the information. But if I don't have the information, then I don't know what to do. And that was why when I was going through this whole rebrand and this whole process, which I feel like my pivot has finally fully pivoted, which took way too fucking long, but also perfect timing because that's how it works. It got to this point where it's like, I know who I am and I know it's true for me and I know it's worked for me. And I also know there's other people out there who need that. And like, that's it. Like, you just need someone who cares, someone who's willing to show up for you, someone who's willing to walk you through it, someone who's willing to tell you what to do and not to do, someone who's willing to give you the templates or the step-by-steps or the hands-on feedback, and a place to go where other women are the same and they get it and there's no judgment and there's no shame. And I know what it's like to be fucking poor, and I know what it's like to also be bougie, and I know what it's like to have all these dualities of a partner who doesn't support you and a partner who does support you and kids at home. And one time I had a nanny for 3 months and that was great, but then also it just like didn't feel right. Like, I get it. And I don't know how else to tell you that I get it. So this bonus episode is just me pouring out my feelings to you guys to tell you that if that's you, and if you're the mom who wants these things or wants your kids at home, or you want to build a business on 10 hours a week, and maybe you're still at a 9 to 5 and you want to leave the 9 to 5 and you only have 5 or 10 hours a week, at that point, maybe that's for you. So join me for 30 days. We start next Monday to build your audience. And even if you're not ready to launch, this is perfect for you because you're going to build a magnetic audience. You're going to learn how to talk to your audience like a real fucking person, how to show up authentically, but also still have a private life, how to connect with people on a human level through your content and be really good at what you're good at and be good at being you so that you can gain momentum so that you are ready to launch an offer. And the more momentum and the more community you build, the easier it gets to launch offers and make money. That's the truth. So join me live for 30 days. We start next Monday. It's $33. The link is in the show notes. You can also upgrade. There's an upgrade on the sales page to get part 1 and part 2. So we'll be together for 6 weeks for $120. Join me. I'm so excited to see you guys in there. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will chat with you on the next episode.